Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I'm still here in Anchorhead, so let's go around and explore the town.
I hear Czerka is closing their Kashyyyk operation. Nobody seems to know why.
Something you want? I don't have a lot of time for talk, so please, make it quick.
I just want to ask you a few questions.
Alright, but I'm not sure what I could say to interest you. I just work on the crawlers.
Describe your job and who you work for.
I repair the sand crawlers when they return from the mines. They get pretty banged up, even without the attacks.
What attacks do you mean?
The sand people attack them pretty regularly. Czerka Corporation is getting pretty sick of it, I hear. They've offered bounties on sand people for a while now, but few hunters take them up on it. Too dangerous.
Where can I learn about these bounties?
Try at the Czerka offices, right here. They'd know.
When do the sand crawlers head out?
Oh, the big crawlers head out at dawn. That's so they avoid the bigger predators. The raid, I mean, doesn't help avoid the sand people, though. They attack pretty regular, no matter what Czerka Corporation tries.
What can you tell me about Tatooine and Anchorhead?
Well, it's a hole in the galaxy as far as I'm concerned. I doubt this outpost will last much longer. But that's happened before and will happen again. Anchorhead has been resettled a few times now.
Why have the previous settlements failed?
Well, Tatooine fools people. It looks like it might have a good supply of resources, but it doesn't. Before a company learns this, they've already set up communities to support operations they now can't afford. Company pulls out, cities dry up, and after a few years, someone that doesn't know why it failed tries again.
Czerka Corporation isn't doing well here.
No one is. I guess it looked like a promising mining planet, but the metal, I tell you, just isn't right. I've been a mechanic my whole life. I've never seen anything corrode as fast as Tatooine metal. It's why whoever was here before left, and why Czerka will leave, and why whoever comes next will leave.
That's all I needed. Goodbye.
All right then, back to work, I guess.
You'll be hearing about this, you Czerka puppet. I'm not going to let this drop. You can't just murder a whole village. And don't tell me you take concerns to the corporate kiosk. I know when I'm not wanted. What's going on here? Who are you? I'm done talking in this office. They aren't interested in listening to me. I doubt they will even acknowledge I was here. Typical corporate evasion. That's what happens when they own everything. No accountability. Don't even try bringing it up.
Can I help you? These are the offices of the Czerka Corporation. I trust you have business with the company. If this is about employment, I'm afraid all regular mining positions are full. And before you ask, we are also no longer selling hunting licenses.
I want to ask about hunting licenses.
As I said, we are no longer selling them. There are too many people cavorting about outside the walls as it is.
Is there no way to get a license?
Well, normally we charge 200 credits, but I could make an exception if you agreed to perform a task for us. It's similar to hunting. The sand people are becoming a problem. They destroy our sand crawlers and kill our miners. One particular tribe is the worst. It's as if their chieftain has decided to wage war against us. I would like their attacks terminated. Bring me their gaffy sticks as proof. If you agree to do this, I'll give you a hunting license now and pay a bounty for each stick later. I'll give a bonus for the chieftains.
I will agree to do this for you, even though I will not necessarily actually do it, but I will say I'll do it so that I get a license and can exit the city because they want to let me out otherwise. I will agree to do this for you.
Excellent. Now, just so we understand each other, this is an enforceable contract. Czerka Corporation takes this very seriously. Here's your license, and a few directions. We believe one of their enclaves is in the far south of the Dune Sea. You might try following one of our sand crawlers. They're regularly attacked. I wouldn't mind you escorting them.
Let's get back to my other questions.
Very well. though I do have work to get back to.
Anything out of the ordinary happening?
I assume that by out of the ordinary, you're referring to the destruction of Taris? That is all anyone is talking about. I'm afraid Czerka Corporation is not offering any comment on those events. We wouldn't wish to anger the participants.
Know anything more local?
If you're looking for local events, I suggest you go to the Swoop track, one of the few leisure industries on Tatooine. There was also a Jawa here earlier, saying something about needing help. I think he's out by the city gates. I can't be more specific about what he wanted. Our droid translators had difficulty with the message.
Okay.
Very well.
I want to ask about Czerka Corporation.
Of course. Czerka Corporation records are available at our representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours, please. For your needs here, we maintain a fully stocked storehouse. Speak with Greta Holda about any purchases.
May I ask how your operations here on Tatooine are doing?
Certainly. Please pose your questions to the representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours, please.
Why the secrets? The company stuck you here, tell me.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you. I'll have to refer you to the representative kiosk.
I wanted to ask about your activities on Kashyyyk.
I'm sorry, but day-to-day operations of Czerka Corporation outposts are fully regionalized. I have no information on Kashyyyk.
Which is very convenient if one branch is charged with misconduct.
I'm sorry. I'll have to direct you to our representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours only, please.
Okay.
Very well.
I'm looking for a miner named Griff.
Griff? There's no Griff here. Never heard of him. No, I don't remember a single Griff on the Czerka Corporation payroll.
Are you certain of that? I would leave sooner if I knew.
Oh, you mean that Twi'lek? Must have slipped my mind for a second. Yes, of course I remember Griff. We hired that Twi'lek some time ago. Not a good worker, according to his crew chief. Always complaining and faking injuries to get out of work. He entered false timesheets and slept through his shifts. We even suspected him of stealing Czerka Corporation supplies, although we could never prove it.
So you fired him?
We would have fired him, but we needed workers. It would have been better for him if he had been fired. Then the Sand People wouldn't have gotten him.
The Sand People?
He was lost in a Sand People raid we suffered not too long ago. There were prisoners taken, but our rescue parties never found anyone alive. In the end, it just wasn't cost-effective to keep searching. All miners sign a waiver absolving Czerka Corporation of liability in these circumstances.
So your workers are expendable?
Czerka Corporation cares deeply for all of its employees. That's why we've started a bounty program to thin the Sand People numbers. We didn't find his body, so we have to assume he was taken prisoner. Whether he's still alive, I couldn't say. That's all I can tell you. I shouldn't even have said this much. This is all privileged corporate information. I could lose my job.
Okay, never mind.
Very well, though I do have work to get back to.
I have to go. Goodbye.
Farewell. Czerka Corporation welcomes your future inquiries.
Bastila seems to have something on her mind.
How can I help?
What do you know of this place?
Tatooine is a dry planet that has not been inhabited long, and has little law. This town of Anchorhead may be its only settlement. Beyond that, there is little else I can tell you.
I'd like to know more about you, Bastila.
Yes, I suppose I can understand your curiosity, given the bond that connects us. Very well. I'll tell you a bit about myself.
Tell me how you joined the Jedi, then.
I was found to be strong with the Force at a young age, as most Padawans are. As a girl, I was given to the Order to be trained. When I joined the Order, I left my family on Tal Ravan, as all Padawans do. My family is still there, the last that I heard. I've had little contact with them, as it is discouraged.
So the Jedi separate children from their families?
Relationships with family members are fraught with powerful emotions. Such extremes are to be avoided. Anger and hate are the worst, but even love can lead to folly.
Well, to be honest, that does sound pretty idiotic. And also, like, kind of... like, a little callous. Like, you're taking those children to essentially, you know, make monks out of them, but you don't really... they don't have a choice in that, because they are far too young to even understand what was happening. So you take them from their families, and you tell them that familiar attachment is something to be avoided, but then they might end up with nothing in their life but this duty that you have imposed on them. That sounds pretty idiotic. I would never agree to that.
The gift of the Force comes with a high cost. Sacrifice of one's emotional attachments is one of the prices a Jedi must be willing to pay. The alternative is to fall prey to the dark side.
Why wouldn't you be allowed to love?
Emotional entanglements can be dangerous. They can impair rational thought. They can lead to outbursts of uncontrolled emotion. A Jedi must be above such things.
You don't sound very convinced.
It can be a hard lesson to learn. I was not on good terms with all of my family, but I do remember missing my father terribly for a long time.
Your father and you were close?
Very close. I was only a little girl when I left my family, but I still remember him fondly. He was kind and gentle and doted on me. My mother, however, was different. I was not on good terms with my mother. I was only a little girl when I left, but I was old enough to resent her in the way she treated my father. She pushed my father into treasure hunting. I spent all my young life on ships, traveling from one false lead to the next. She whittled away my father's entire fortune, and I hated her for it. I think she was relieved to give me to the Jedi, but my father was heartbroken.
You never tried to get in touch with your father again?
A child is too young to understand the sacrifices that must be made. It's better if they have no contact with their family once they're removed. Once I was older, I realized the wisdom of this policy. A Jedi must do what is needed, personal desires notwithstanding. Love can only obscure and confuse the matter.
You sound very sad when you say that.
Even a Jedi cannot always control the feelings of the heart. We must do our best to guard against it, no matter what the cost. But some sacrifices are harder than others. I do not wish to discuss this anymore. I would rather return to our mission.
Yes, what is it? Is it about mining or the sand people? Then you go to the Czerka officers. I just manage the storehouse. I want to ask about the bounties. Not my affair. You want to hunt for Czerka Corporation? You talk to the protocol officer. I want to ask about Czerka Corporation. Then go ask a Czerka officer. I just collect my credits at the end of the day, just like the miners or the guards. Do you know anything of their operations on Kashyyyk? Their operations on Kashyyyk are in more trouble than you or I would ever give them. Of course, they would never admit that. I don't care much about how Czerka operates, but I get a chuckle out of anything that gives them grief. How do you think they are doing here on Tatooine? Doesn't matter what I think. Maybe they'll pull out and maybe they won't. I'll man the store on the next rock. Okay. Very well, I do have work to go back to. What do you have available for purchase? Mostly just standard Czerka provisions and supplies. Not enough to keep the locals happy. Have a look. Okay, I'll buy this mesh underlay for upgrading armor. I think I might buy this Mandalorian heavy pistol. Is it upgradable? No. Okay, so no, so I won't buy it. I'll buy the medkits though. Don't believe a word of what Czerka Corporation said in there. There is always a peaceful solution to conflict. They are just lazy. Is this about Czerka wanting the Sand People chieftain killed? So, you're the killer that they hired. Just going to walk out there and wipe them out? I'd expect no less from fools. The Sand Peoples aren't animals. I have watched them and they are intelligent. There must be a way to peacefully stop their attacks. I know it. But no one will try, of course. You can't even leave the city without Czerka approval. and they want the Sand People dead. Well, the Czerka said the Sand People attacked first. Well, yes they did. They attacked the Czerka, who deployed numerous giant sand crawlers and started tearing up the desert with iron shovels and whatever else. What would you have done? To the Sand People, it must have seemed like an invasion. There were no negotiations for territory or resources. I don't think the killing has been justified, but as a conversationalist, I am hoping that someone at least tries to talk this out. Why hasn't anyone tried talking to them? Well, this is no small matter, but they don't seem to speak a language that your average translator can understand. Is that their fault though? There was even a Jedi here a few years ago that couldn't seem to get through to them. I'm not saying it would be easy, but someone has to try. Maybe with a real translation droid, not those old protocol scrap hits walking around. Who would have a capable droid? These are pretty rare, even on well-stocked worlds, but I'm sure they heard something about an unusual droid in the shop here on Tatooine. With that droid, maybe you could talk to them. I wouldn't survive. Maybe with desert robes as a disguise, someone could get into their enclave. Where would you get robes to match theirs? I suppose you could take them off the warrior raiders in the Dune Sea, but there's no way I would survive anything like that. Plus, you would have to explain why you killed their warriors if you're trying to make peace, but I suppose there is no other way. Where would that enclave be? But it's no secret where they are. Their attacks get worse the further southwest in the Dune Sea you go. Then people die on both sides. I'll look into it. Sure, that's what Czerka Corporation keeps saying, and then they just start shooting again. The fighting won't stop until they are all dead, or until the Czerka leave. This is as likely as the other, with the things that are the way they are going. What do I know, though? I am definitely interested in a peaceful resolution to whatever conflict might be going on.
A private trader told me about the bloodshed on Kashyyyk. Seems like Czerka wants to forget it was ever there.
The Czerka Corporation will unload this outpost on someone. Maybe not for a few years, but well, they can wait.
I've work to do. Why don't you go drown yourself in the cantina like the other diggers? Giants in the sand will be here long after you. So will Jawa. We trade and scavenge when people will buy. Not so good now. Swoop registration. I do want to take part in the swoop races.
Lord Malak was most displeased when he learned you had escaped Taris alive. He has promised a great reward to whoever destroys you.
Yes.
Die already!
Datapad, Sith descriptions. This datapad contains detailed descriptions of you and Bastila. It also has a brief message. Bastila has escaped Taris. Whoever can find her and dispose of her and her Jedi companion will be greatly rewarded by Lord Malak himself.
There's not enough jobs here for permanent citizens, let alone use spacer drop-ins.
Hi there, are you waiting for a slot on a track? Me too. There's a lot of racers coming through here now. Nice swoop jocks like me don't get much respect. Just takes practice, I guess. I've got a few things I wanted to ask. Spare a moment? Sure, but I don't know much besides the track. You ever interested in a swoop track? I'm looking for something. Who knows this planet best? Anyone but us swoop racers. Really, we can show you the track, but anything else we've got no clue. You could check with the Czerka office. They like to think they know everything. I want to ask about you and racing. Heck, nobody is ever interested in me. I'm the new guy, Garm Turtle. Pleased to meet you. Is this the best place for racing? You're kidding, right? Every racer here would be rather someplace else, but it is not. But this is it for the most of us. Taris blowing up has messed up the swoop circuit. People are looking for somewhere to keep their skills sharp. It sounds weird, doesn't it? Worrying about racing when all those people died? Nothing we can do. Why have racers come here? MODDED pays for timekeeping and official records. You can race anywhere, but here, if you do good, it actually matters. That's why I stick around. No work, no future, but Tatooine at least has this. It's my shot, maybe. How long have you been at this? Not that long, just this season. I'm getting better, still too cautious. Good thing I've got some pros to learn from. What do you want to learn? How they keep their nerves steady, bike maintenance, you know, all of it. I'm not as good as some, but I try. What can you tell me about the other racers? You should ask them yourself. I don't feel right speaking for the pros. It's not my place to talk. I'd be nervous even talking about Nico. He's young like me, but he's practically a prodigy. What makes you say that? Everyone thinks he's the next star of the pro circuit if he signs with a promoter. Mota is really pushing him. What do you think about that? I hear that the deal is pretty bad, but I'd take it in a second. I don't have Nico's skill though. Alright. I don't think I'll be getting much track time anytime soon anyway. I have to leave, goodbye. Race hard, watch for rocks. Yeah, I'll try. What do you want? You are here for money? I'll pay the hut what I owe as soon as the circuit is back on its feet. Oh wait, you don't look like a collector. You're just some kid. Go on, I don't have time for you. Just a few things I wanted to ask. Spare a moment? If I say no, you'll probably hound me to death. Fine, what do you want? I'm looking for something. Who knows this planet best? I don't know, go ask some locals. I want to know as little about this dust bowl as possible. I want to ask about you. There's not much useful info you'll get out of me. Yuka Real is on the way down. I can't match the young raiders. Is this the best place for racing? I'd better hope so. It's the last stop for me. If I can't get some decent times going, I might as well not leave. I wish I could use the destruction of Taris as an excuse, but I doubt I would have ever made it back there. Why have the racers come here? Old guys like me can't make it on good tracks, and the new racers come here to try and knock us down even further. I'm still trying to have at least one last good run, but it just isn't happening. How long have you been at this? Too many years. I've raced on almost every track, and I've got all I've got to show for it is an aging bike. No good memories? Seems like a waste. I've got a few trophies stashed, but they don't pay the bills. I should have quit after Coruscant Classic. What can you tell me about the other raiders? Bunch of babies, all of them. Well, except for Zori's. She's got the goods, like I've never had. Good for her, I guess. If I had to say something good about the new races, it would be about that Nico kid. He's got a future. What makes you say that? He doesn't fear the truck. You get old, you start to worry about failing. He just lets it all come to him. What do you think about that? Some promoter will use him up, and he'll end up in debt like me. It's already happening, I bet. Okay. Make it quick, I have to go. Yeah, good riddance. Yes? Is there something you wish? I have a moment or two while the others oppose their times. Is this a racing matter? Or perhaps you're interested in taking up the sport? I just wanted to ask you a few questions if you have time. I'm not so preoccupied with the track that I can't spare a few minutes. Go ahead. Who knows this planet best? I must confess that I haven't had much time to learn about the planet. Talk of Taris had always seemed more important. Some of the hunters in Faz's lodge seem like they would know more than I would, but it wouldn't take much. I want to ask about you and racing. My name is Zoris Bavka. I suppose I'm one of the most experienced racers here. What do you want me to answer? Is this the best place for racing? Perhaps not, but it will do for now. Professional racers like myself travel whenever the purses are highest. It is no secret that one of the most popular tracks was lost with Taris. Other promoters will need time to organize. In the meantime, we will race at smaller venues. This is almost a recreational stop for me. If this track is so small, why bother? You lose the skills if you don't use them. I could race on any open road, but the competition gives the push to get better. Besides, if my presence lends a little prestige to the track, maybe we'll get some new racers out of it. How long have you been at this? A few years, but I raced under a different name when I was young. My early career was not very spectacular. Why did you change your racing name? It wasn't a big deal. I made the jump from one league to another and wanted to shed some baggage. Don't waste much thought on it. It was purely a personal matter. There's no bearing on today. What do you think about the other races? There are some promising newcomers here. Garm tries hard and I wish him well, but Nico is the one to watch. It's invigorating to watch him discover his skills. I hope he manages to remember why he had taken up the sport. What makes you say that? The race is not just about the speed, it's a business, and we are the product. He must market himself carefully. It is a necessary side of the sport. We must make someone money, or there would be no circuit. I have to leave. Racer's luck be with you.
I don't know how the riders do it. I get sick at speeds like that. I love watching the races. Nothing much else to do.
Sorry, the track is only for the racers that MODDED had accepted and signed up. He pays for the track upkeep, so it's his choice. Go talk to him, and we'll set you up.
The track here isn't the greatest, but we have to practice someplace.
Wait, but where's that Nico guy that they've all been talking about? Oh, right here.
Go on, leave me alone. I've got stuff to worry about.
Anything I could help you with? What's bugging you?
Racer stuff. Nothing you'd understand. Don't mean to be rude, but it's kind of secret.
I raced on Taris.
Ha! Sure. Race your bike out of that explosion? Everyone knows that the whole planet is gone. Nobody got out. I'm not in the mood for jokes, thanks. I've got things to think about. You wouldn't know anything about it. Deal with that hut Armada and you will understand. Until then, I just don't want to talk about it. Go on, leave me alone.
I have some questions.
I don't feel like answering. I wouldn't be much help to you anyway. I just race. Don't know about anything else. Deal with that hut Mada and you will understand.
Okay, I'll try to win the races here, and then maybe he'll treat me more seriously. Who are you? Ah, nobody. What do you want? Handouts? Go dig a mine, fool. I'm looking for information. Can you help? I'm not interested in helping, only interested in racing, and get enough beggars through here looking for money. Let's have a look. Just a human, nothing really special. You race? Maybe you own a Swoop. I race on Taris. I won the season opener there. You and 12 other liars. The planet blows up, race records are lost, and now everyone is a champion.
My friend tells the truth. I am a Jedi. Are you going to imply that I am lying as well?
Oh, now you are a champion and travel with the Jedi. Does this story get bigger with every telling?
Nobody here can compare with the racers you rode against on Taris. You'll wipe every record from the books this backwater track.
Okay, enough of the funny stuff. You think you're a racer, you'll be one. You have your own bike? Yes, I do have my own bike stored on my ship. You got a bike, then you can race. I don't care about experience, so long as you can get out on the track. And if you crash and burn, that's your problem. I just need warm bodies to pad the roster between the pros. There is a matter of small track maintenance fee, 100 credits. Why not drop the fee? No racers means no crowds. Well, I suppose you're right. I'm not dropping it the whole amount. 50 credits, that's it. Alright. Good, that shows you mean business. Now you can use the track for recreational runs, or I can give you an official race right away. Just ask me when you want to start. And there's some business I need help with, if you're serious about promoting racing. Well, first, what sort of business do you need help with? I make my money off signing good racers. Good ones, not great ones. I want them young and stupid. I got one, Nico Senvi, great potential. Only started racing a year ago and loves it. He lives for it now.
And? Sounds like you have something special. What do you want help with?
What I want is simple. I want Nico to sign a contract with me, and I want you to convince him. I'll pay well. Why won't he sign? The deal basically says I found his bike and repairs, but in return I take a hefty cut of his winnings.
That isn't fair! On Taris you had to give a cut to the Swoop gang sponsoring you, but at least the rider got the higher share of the winnings.
He knows it's harsh, but he can't afford to go pro on his own, and he doesn't want to give up racing. I've got him where I want him. I just need you to give him a little push in the right direction, or a big shove. I think you should give him a better deal. You're not going to pull the typical Swoop jockey attitude, are you? This is business. I know what's best. What do you care whether I make money off the kid or not? He wants to race and you want to get paid. We all win. Treat him fairly, or I'll start rumors that your races are rigged. I don't think you would. It would taint the races that you won on my track. That includes Nico and others. Well, we'll get back to it. Some questions about Nico? Why would he listen to me? He doesn't trust me. Actually, none of them do. I'm the promoter, I do it for money. They all just want the glory. You're a Swoop jerk like him. You're new, but if you win enough, he'll respect you. I'm counting on it. And if he doesn't make him choose correctly, you look like you could scare some sense into him. Well, I do think you should give him a better deal. Give him a better deal or I'll bury you under your track. Anchorhead is a safe town. I don't think you'll be able to do much of anything to me around here.
I've heard enough. You want to act in a fair manner now.
Of course, it would be fair if I gave him a better deal. Did I say that? Wait, I guess it does make sense. Alright, I'll give him a better deal. And make it back in the long run, I guess. You, of course, are not getting paid. I trust this is the last I will have to hear on the matter. Was there anything else? Just, I want to talk about the rewards for racing. I set up a quick 3-tier system, so people know where they stand. I pay for the first time to reach each tier. Explain the tiers. Tier 1 is strictly amateurs. Might get a good race out of them every once in a while, but they aren't going anywhere. Tier 2, and you show promise. You're still fodder for the pros, but you're pretty good. Tier 3, only one of my local guys in is that range. Nico, good chance to go pro if he knows what's good for him. What does each tier pay? Tier 1 is 10 racing bonds, Tier 2 is 30, Tier 3 is 80. You'll agree the amount is fair. I pay each level only once. I'm not here to support you. I only pay to encourage constant improvement. What are racing bonds? Racing bonds are monetary notes I issue so vendors who know who my friends are, any merchant will buy them. Each bond is worth 60 credits, give or take, depending on the merchant. Are there any pro races here? There aren't any pro races anywhere with Taris gone. I'm going to try and build up 1 or 2 of my own. But I suppose there are a couple pros here. Some has-been and never-were types. That sort of things. Zori's Bavka is the best of the lot, outside of my local champ, Nico. Most races in her league would never stop here. Okay. Hurry it up, I don't have all day. I will be back in a second. The track crosses the dunes on Tatooine. You will race against the times set by other racers. There will be no other swoops on the track. Your bike likely has standard 5 gears to shift through. As your speed increases, watch the indicators on the lower left to know when to shift. Shift at the wrong time and your swoop will accelerate poorly or slow down. Shift correctly and you will optimize your performance. You can also steer over swoop boosters placed alongside the road. This will increase your speed substantially for a short time. Are there any hazards on the track? There are obstacles that you must watch out for. Steering over rocks won't damage your bike, but it will slow you down. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Alright, but don't make me regret giving you track access. I need racers that race. I'll be back in a second. I need to pause for a second. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's talk about swoop racing. Yes, you'll be wanting to race. I'm sure you'll give the swoop fans a good show. Just set me up with a race. We just need to clear up the positioning fee. All the racers pay the same before each officially timed race. 100 credits. But I already did. But I already paid the maintenance fee. The fee is due before each race. How else am I supposed to sponsor prize money the level I do? I need to see some returns. I'm investing in my riders, but I also need profit now. You'll agree with my logic. If you don't race. Will you negotiate on the price? I don't feel that I need to. The price is reasonable. I'll put on a good show. You'll make your money back. Fine, I'll extend a discount to you, if only to close your mouth. I'll have your bike moved into position. But I warn you, I have people to make sure I don't give out too many favors. You won't get the discount again. You will go against Garm Totrill's time the first year. He's a local boy new to the sport. The time to beat is 23:90. Swoop Racing fans, we have an official race about to commence. Make some noise for the new contender. You have passed the first tier and earned 10 racing bonds. Not bad for a beginner. You beat Garm's time easily. Take this with my thanks. We'll see if you can do better in tier 2. Okay, let's do this. A second tier race is about to begin. Show your support for the up-and-comer. I didn't check what time it is that I need to beat. Yeah, I don't think that's enough. You passed the second tier and earned 30 racing bonds. I'm beginning to think it was a mistake to sign you up. I suppose you'll be up against my local pro attractions in tier 3 next. You've already ruined Yucca Rail. Yeah, set me up with a race. It's time to race against tier 3. Let's see how you do against Doris Bavka. The time is 22:51. Attention, MODDED halt presents the cream of the crop of Swoop racing, a tier 3 match. Let this almost champion know what you expect. Okay, that's not enough. What do you call that then? Winners draw the crowd, not lazy times like that. Are you sure you're up for this competition? Well, let me try again. It's 22:51. Ah, damn it. Now, I'm losing a lot of money. But it is what it is. I'm trying my best. It's just not enough. Ah. It's a big payout for you. You shattered my track record and look at tier 3. AC Racing Bonds was the deal. That's the last time. That's the last I'll be giving you, I hope. You're far too fast for most of my races. I'll be back. Go on then, but don't hog the track with wreck runs. I need my pros to keep their skills up. You depress them.
Oh, hi. You another racer then? I heard someone new was talking to MODDED. Always room for more, I guess. Nice job beating my times, too. I guess my heart isn't in the racing. Contracts are distracting stuff.
I talked to MODDED about you.
I suppose you've got a right to know track business, but with the times you've been posting.
I convinced MODDED to give you a better contract.
You did? I don't believe it. I mean, I do, but I sure wasn't expecting it. I appreciate it, I really do. Now I can take my bike to the big races. There's not much of a circuit right now, but I'll be ready when it recovers.
When do you think you'll be leaving?
Hard to tell. I'll get some more runs here first. I need the practice. I have to top your time.
Goodbye then, and good luck.
Thanks again. I meant it.
You're the one. You beat Zora Bavka's time. I have to get an auto print. You want my auto print? Are you serious? Sure I am. You're fast for a human. And once the races are running regular again, you'll be famous. Well, maybe you will. If you start winning on a real tour, I will be able to say I saw you when you were just starting out. How about it? Sure, why not? Scan away. Really, that's great of you. You will always be a fan favorite. Some of the racers sell their prints, but that is just rude. Here, just put your hand on the pad. Thanks again. I know I'll be seeing more of you, human. There are many of us, but not where you can see. We scavenge for everyone, but giants of sand never trade fair.
I tried to get work in the mines, but Czerka Corporation is scaling back. Well, I can't say that I blame them. Nothing smells worse than a herd of wild banthas. Nothing.
I never thought I'd see a moisture farming is better living than mining. Anchorhead Cantina. Okay, I'll visit that, but next time, because this episode has been long enough. So that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.